So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Oi, everybody. Hello. It's a new episode of Ho Hong Kong. Our guest is not Australian. I have no idea why I opened like this. Hi. It's a new episode, Ho Hong Kong. We're here, we have a guest, and we have some guy.
That's right. It is moi,
Yes.
le co-host de la podcast, Vivek Malbani. Is extremely surprised with your first oi,
Yeah,
because they
I know.
completely made every color on my mixer red color.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I got too overly excited.
Yeah, you got too
yes.
excited, and now just watch the energy just drain out of it.
No, I was
slowly.
excited because of our guest as well.
That's right,
Because, I've been seeing him for a few years.
So let's do the mandatory pretend we're friends banter. Hey, so how is life, Mohammed?
It sucks.
That's great. Let's
Always
introduce
been.
our guest then.
Always has. No, actually, no. We have good things going on.
We have good things.
Let me go through my notes. Can you pause for like 2 minutes?
All right, no problem.
No, don't pause.
Actually, very simply, we're actually heading to our 200th episode.
There you
everyone.
go. We have
Yeah.
announcements.
Yeah, we do have announcement.
Yeah.
200 episodes of this podcast. We've
Hell
been
yeah.
talking. Oddly enough, though, not all 200 episodes had you in it. And not
Yeah.
200 episodes had me in it. Sometimes I wasn't there. Sometimes you weren't there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had other people that
I
looked
hope
like you.
I did one just me and Sarah Tongue.
Yeah.
Just me and the sexologist.
Exactly.
That was an episode.
That's why we have 200 episodes,
Exactly.
because somehow someone's going to be talking and we're going to be recording.
Yeah, and it's a few of them were just you going
Yeah.
on for an hour.
Talking to
like
myself.
an absolute lunatic.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. So let's talk about comedy. When you get sick, what do you do?
I actually didn't even tell you. I think one time I was like panic, like trying to download anything on my Spotify right before taking a plane.
Yeah.
Because I cannot sit with my own thoughts. I would actually probably break the plane down. Like I need to check, like I need to have something in my head all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a book, laptop didn't charge or whatever. So I'm like, I need some, and I'm literally boarding and about to lose Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So I just scrolled and downloaded anything from our own podcast because it's the only thing.
Yeah, give me some. I know this works.
I need something. I need something to play in my ear.
We're in trouble, man.
And then the only episode I could get was one of you by yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, and I stood there in the little tunnel.
Yeah, trying to get a little
making
Wi-Fi
sure
left
that
over.
the Wi-Fi doesn't cut
Of
off.
course, yes.
And I was just waiting for the episode to download, and I had the best time listening to you. And to be honest, I actually didn't listen to it the first time because obviously you recorded it, you sent it to me, and I think I asked you, what is it about? Because I didn't bother
gave you
listening.
a general thing about being sick or something like that.
Yeah. And so I was genuinely listening to it for the first time. It was very funny.
Oh,
but yeah, I
God.
forgot to tell you. That was a long time
Oh
ago.
my
but
goodness.
It's still very
Well, I'm
funny.
glad I'm doing some sort of service talking to myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have right there going on. But in case you want us to hear us talking to each other, the 200th episode will be happening on 5th of December. We're going to be doing a live recording. You can check
Hell
out the
yeah.
show notes, and we'll give you links to where you can get yourself a ticket to come
Yep.
check it out. But just remember, 5th of December, if you have plans, cancel them.
It's at the Aftermath. We can actually reveal the location as well. The Aftermath, Wyndham Road.
Yes.
It's I confirmed the venue and everything, so we're not going to change that.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, hit us up on our respective socials. But I'm anxious to get to our guest. Let's get to our guest, everyone.
That's right.
We can do all the rest of the house cleaning later.
You can do the introductions if you want. Otherwise, I'll simply say our guest is a comedian that many of you would have heard of, seen of, especially if you've been in Hong Kong in the scene long enough. You have definitely enjoyed. It is Dwayne Perkins, one of the funniest, and I must say, I really appreciate the clean comedian as well in many ways.
Yeah.
Can be dirty if necessary, I heard as well, but you are generally clean. So
Yeah.
Dwayne is in town in Hong Kong performing. Unfortunately, the time when this episode airs, you're going to have missed the show or had already watched the show.
Yes.
That's all that matters, but the key is Dwayne Perkins is here with us. Dwayne, how are you in Hong Kong?
Oh, what a great intro. Thank you guys for having me. I'm great. I love Hong Kong. It's really good to be back. And someone who comes every year, I don't see too many crazy changes. It's like
Yeah.
it's still fun, like
But you must have
the red
not
bean
come-
waffles still taste good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he knows his stuff. He knows his game. The red bean waffle straight
You
up.
must have not come until since COVID, right? Like this is the first time.
This is you know what's crazy? This is my third time since COVID.
What?
Yes.
Oh, hold on a
Have
second.
you been
Dwayne.
coming here secretly?
No, I mean, I just came.
There is like 4 comedians in Hong Kong. We would know if you're here.
Well, you know what it is I was doing takeout comedy,
Yeah.
right, with Jamie Gunn. Paul Ogata is his guy, right?
Sure.
Yes.
And then I think I'm after Paul.
Yeah,
In terms of his guy.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So, I feel like I know that sounds crazy. It's definitely at least the second time, but I feel like it's the third time since
Could be,
COVID.
man. I mean, like, for all you know, you might have
Yes.
come down, done a gig, not realize it was a public gig, or basically you were
Right,
here
right.
again. But yeah, I
Yeah.
would not be surprised. I mean, Hong Kong's one of those places that you can zip in, do your thing, zip out, and be like, was that one of
True.
those? Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had such a great time. You know, I've gone places I don't normally go. Well, I went to Kowloon and got a little dessert thingy.
Okay, I'm guessing it's one of those only dessert stores, right?
Only dessert. You got to take a number. Nothing's in English.
Yes.
Pay on your phone.
Is it a pudding-looking thing?
Yeah,
Or-
I got the red bean and
The red bean soup pudding?
red bean soup, and also
Okay.
the ginger was so good.
Oh yeah, that
So
stuff is great.
So good.
Yeah.
With the sesame seed.
Yeah.
Then I went to a building which is like, I feel bad for these people because it's just a regular. Like I'm from New York, so I understand like an apartment complex or projects or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone took a famous picture, like lying on the ground, and now everyone who has a YouTube page. You
will
know,
go visit
They
that.
have to go, especially if you.
Are you talking about the Monster building?
Yeah, it's you take the blue line.
Yeah. You're
to
talking. But this is actually it's famous for the Transformers. That's why it's there.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
why?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So they
Yeah,
basically.
you went out to like Quarry Bay or something. That's where.
Yeah,
it is.
it's like a stop past Quarry Bay, maybe
Yes,
one
correct.
or two stops.
Yeah,
Really great mall out there too. So I really like it out there. Like I could
Right.
live out there. It was
Yeah.
really everything you need is right there. But yeah, so people are lying down, taking a picture up.
How did you hear about it?
My girl told me.
Oh yeah, okay. So of course she
So,
found
yeah,
like
yeah.
some sort of trendy thing,
Yeah.
a photo to take. But no, it's from
Yes.
the Transformers
I
movie.
see.
Yeah.
I see. So yeah, it was packed. It was a lot of fun. I love Hong Kong. I love the scene. Like, I think expats. So you guys live here.
Yeah.
So, and you're not an expat.
I'm more of a local, but yeah, I can go into that
Yeah.
scene as well.
But like, I don't know. I think that's my crowd. You know, and I have to figure out how to find those people who live in the U.S. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I need to really take up that challenge. And I've never even like verbalized it till just now with
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
But like last night's show, it just was like I was having so much fun. And it's weird, and no disrespect to my to America and my home. I love it. But it's almost like I have to leave to find people who sort of speak my same English or something. You know
Would
what I
you
mean?
say it's because people, the expats, number one, expats who would come to, let's say, Asia to work, number one, would be of a certain standing, certain education.
Yeah, definitely.
Hence why they
yes.
would not be looking for that easy, kind of the easy joke. They're like, I want a little more substance to it. And would you
Right,
say
and
that?
they're super appreciative that you're here.
Yeah.
So they have that in common with military shows too.
Yeah.
Like they're so
Yeah,
glad
really, yeah, grateful.
you bothered to come. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think secondly it's the adventure level, education level, and just taste. Like
hear it 'cause they have a good
like
life.
different tastes. They like different food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I could relate to that in such like in a really strange way. I was just in Melbourne visiting, and I jumped on a show at the Comedy Republic, one of the bigger clubs there. And the show was actually an all Asian showcase. And they had me on as almost half a joke, but also like, you know, I just wanted a spot and they gave me a spot.
Right. Asia Minor. Kind
Yeah,
of.
kind of. And actually, you know, opening was saying like I'm of all the lineup, I'm genuinely the only one who lives in Asia,
Right.
Which was true. And it was also the same day I landed. But the point is that almost everyone in the audience, like 200 people, everyone was Asian Australian.
Right.
And just like you were saying, I almost found my crowd in like the Asians living abroad.
Right.
You
Interesting.
can connect to
yes.
them more than any crowd I have performed in front of. And I'm like,
Nice.
I had that same feeling. I'm like, if I can get always like those kind of people,
Yes.
I am set.
Absolutely. And it's like I don't do too many local references, but like US references, but enough that if you're not from the US, you probably get it. And if you're from the US, you're appreciative because
Oh, yeah.
it's
home.
like a taste of home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I love Hong Kong crowds. I like that. Oh, you always get a mix too. That's important. Like I can do all American. All Brits would be tough. I've had that. I've done those kind of shows.
Aren't they always like expecting some sort of like a meaning, like a story kind of?
It could go that way, or
Yeah.
they could just be like crazy drunk. It
Right.
could go that way.
Yeah.
It could go that way too.
Yeah.
But I like a mix. I like if I had my druthers, it'd be like, 30% local who
Yeah.
spoke English, and then the other 70% would be some sort of distribution of American, maybe a little more American, but then I like some Aussies. I like Brits in the crowd.
Yeah.
I like that international
I
crowd.
love that how
know?
you think like just make your own audience.
Right, exactly. I'll take 30% of this.
It's like a video game. He's just like 30% of that.
That
yeah.
would be great. Like if you were selling tickets.
I know.
You could do this if you were really famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, of course, people would scream bloody murder, but like,
Sure.
like there were like a certain amount of tickets for Brits.
Oh, that's so good.
And then after
If you could
that-
just tell your people,
That
to
would
be
be-
like, yeah.
You know how cool that would be? Like, you just have to come with your passport and stuff. It's that
Right,
level
right.
that people will say, you know what? And your rule is that if I have one complaint, we're canceling the whole show.
That's fine.
That's great. That's really good.
That'd be so good. Like, you're at that level where everyone's like, dude, don't screw it for us, man.
Yeah.
If you couldn't make it, let it go, dude. Let it go. Don't complain, you know?
Also, I think if you had some sort of caveat that if you were denied, the next time is free.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? After a certain, like you couldn't like
Yeah,
break
yeah,
the
you-
system, but at a certain point, if you
Yeah.
if you had enough time in advance, and
Yeah.
Here's a dicey question. In that make your own audience formula, how much black would you have?
it would be interesting. It would be. I almost would either just not worry about color, just more country. But if I did break it down
Yeah.
by nation, like by race, probably it depends. At least I would say 20% black.
Okay.
Yeah, anywhere
Yeah.
between 20 and 40% black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think what you're saying, like, because when you say country, is that the people who live in a certain place, they have a certain mentality. And
Right,
it doesn't really
right.
matter what you look like with skin color. Because, like let's say
Exactly.
I'm Indian, but I'm
Yeah.
in Hong Kong. I think a certain way. And you're looking for
Right,
that
right.
mentality thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
can understand. Because, like, when
Yeah.
you go to different places, let's say Singapore, you get a very good mix of a crowd.
Yeah.
And they're more exposed to American culture than even in Hong Kong.
Right.
So they can appreciate things and they'll relate to it on a different level. Like here, if you did a lot of American references, people who are expats, they'd get it because they watch English news in general.
Right,
But the
right.
locals may know English but not be so in tune with, let's say,
Right.
unless it's the big ones like Donald Trump. And obviously everybody's heard of that.
Right.
Yeah, but the general stuff they wouldn't really pay attention to.
And I love Singapore too. I don't know. I feel like I have more fun in Hong Kong on stage.
Yeah.
But I do. My last show in Singapore was really great with Jinx. I think with Singapore, I'm like the other comics are really, really good.
Yeah.
But sometimes they set a tone that's not exactly like the platform that I would set.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's okay. Like I don't mind.
Yeah,
You know.
because like in Singapore, what I noticed is that the audience are gonna laugh easier.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong, they want a little bit more substance to it. They're like, come on, I need a little better twist over there. Because if I could have
Right.
started this joke at a bar with my friend, I'm like, I'm not
Right.
appreciating
I think Hong
You know?
Kong audience money is more hard earned than Singapore.
in a way, and
In a
also
way.
I feel because
Interesting.
Yeah.
yeah, because like in Hong Kong you have so many options. Singapore, honestly, entertainment wise, you're kind of limited.
Right,
So therefore they're
right.
like, you know what, we're here, we must have a good time. But in Hong Kong, they're like, no, you could replace.
Well, not right now. Also, to
Right,
to show the
right.
other sides, like Singapore is obviously doing a big push on like live entertainment. So
Oh, yeah,
now,
yeah.
now they can go to Formula One. They can see Taylor Swift, who's
Right,
apparently
right.
there every
yeah,
year
only,
now or whatever.
apparently, yeah.
That's
Whenever
crazy.
she books,
Yeah.
she's like, okay, Taylor Swift is doing a month and a half residency in
Again,
Singapore. What the
Selling
fuck?
out shows. You know?
Yeah,
Selling out
right.
shows.
But-
yeah, crazy.
That's a great point, and I think that's what comes down to American comedy is that like we've gotten to a point where the people don't mind if you're saying something that they could say,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and that's like you could that is very analogous to rap music, right? And so I'm from New York, and New Yorkers we've like we're better now, but we were like really snobs for a while with hip hop, and that created a rift. But I think it's because like everyone in New York grew up like I would say every New Yorker has a hot 16.
okay.
Like any like if you're on a train and you can just pick a guy and even if he's not black,
Right.
he's got 16 bars. He's got one rhyme that
Yeah.
he wrote that
Yeah.
he can say.
Yeah.
Right. It may not be great.
Just waiting for the opportunity.
and it's going
yeah.
to be decent. And
Right.
so everyone's judging all other rappers from that lens.
Right.
You have to be better than me.
yeah, I'm good.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And so that created the snobbery, and it's weird because I don't like snobbery in comedy, but you do wish, because now everything in America is so extreme, and I think comedy's like it too.
Yeah.
So let's take working out.
Yeah.
Right. Working out. You have the people over here who are like, no disrespect to anyone, but
Yeah.
like, fat, 40, needs a scooter,
Right.
can't walk. You know what I mean? Just ridiculous.
You actually don't have here in Hong Kong at all because
Yeah.
you would just fall down.
Right,
the
exactly,
hill
exactly. You
wouldn't
quickly.
survive here, yeah.
You wouldn't
You're dead,
survive.
yeah.
So you got people who just on that path,
Sure.
high blood pressure, but I love my my cinnamon.
snacks. Yeah,
My
yeah.
Krispy
I don't want to say
Kreme.
any brands, but yeah.
I said it's fine.
Yeah.
But then you got people over here, and they're doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
And they're like moving big ass tires and
jiu-jitsu
chains
guys as
and-
well. Yeah.
And they're doing 1,000 chin-ups, and it's like, guys, just
Yeah, that's too extreme. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Can we just walk?
yeah. In the middle.
Let's meet in the middle and walk. And so comedy is a little bit like that, where like,
Oh, you have the A's and the D's.
yeah, you got people who they want it simple, they want it easy. Doesn't matter if it's something they actually want it to sound like something they've heard before.
Yeah. So mainstream-ish, like
That
that's easy.
familiarity. And
Yeah.
then you got people over here who want it to be so different that it's almost like borderline not funny TED talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then like when you're a comic like I think all of us here where you're funny and you're smart, you may not be weird enough for these people.
Yeah.
And
The
you may
extreme,
be
yeah.
too smart for those people.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And then you're kind of just in the middle.
Yeah,
You know.
I think that's the case though, because like the new generation, especially with social media, what I've noticed is that the attention span is definitely shortened, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to get to any good point or good story, you need to get into the story, take some time. And usually, what happens if you don't get them over in the first 20 seconds, they kind of go like, "I don't believe you're funny."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've automatically gone like, "Yep,
Right,
I've
right,
given up on
right.
this one.
And-
I need to understand."
And they're judging you based on coolness,
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like you seem to be an in shape guy.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
can go against you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're too
If
cool.
Any
Yeah.
kind of like
If you're dressed up too much,
masculine
yeah,
can go
yeah.
against you.
Yeah.
To anything, and you have to address it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have very long hair when I met you. I had very
Yeah,
long
yeah,
hair,
yeah, yeah.
and that sometimes could work against me when I like really take care of it.
Right.
And you can just, I don't know why they think I'm like, spending too much time on my
Yeah.
hair, not my
Right,
jokes.
right,
Yeah.
Like I can almost see them reading me as like, oh, this guy's just like, what is he doing?
Absolutely.
It's like so
And
weird.
Especially men. I think it's just what it is, and it's weird. I don't know if Seinfeld meant it, but he said comedy was too hard because of like the woke.
Oh, yeah,
culture.
yeah.
But then he dialed it back and he said, well, he used a sports analogy. He says, like whenever they change the rules, there's some guys that just adjust and they're still great. Whatever the
Right.
sport is, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
So I hopefully he meant it because I think he's right. Like I like the challenge of, okay, can I write this joke and not get canceled? But I only like the challenge if it's like there's people are trying to cancel people in good faith. But if you're really just sitting around trying to cancel people
Yeah,
for no
'cause
reason,
yeah.
then no one can meet that challenge.
I go
right?
mean like so basically the idea is that I'm willing to take this risk and try this bit, and if I do cross the line, let me know. I'll learn the lesson, but you don't have to like make my career end over
Right,
here.
right, exactly, exactly.
I'm willing to admit that okay, I screwed up and everything, but right now you're right. It's in a culture where you don't dare to even go there because like the consequence is so high. You're like,
Oh,
you know what? It's not
absolutely.
worth
And-
risking this.
And it's almost like well, what is the end goal? Is the end goal for like, and I'm not saying it is. I'm just thinking out loud and asking. Is it like all straight men just won't be allowed to do comedy?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems like we're not there yet, but it seems like it could get to that point. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, but you always find the opposite, right? You'll find then the platforms
Right.
to
right.
give a famous example, the Joe Rogan crowd.
Joe Rogan.
Right,
Yeah.
and you always have that platform and that club
Absolutely,
that's like go
absolutely.
like, oh, they're not letting you. Okay, you're welcome here.
But then sometimes you don't want to be on that side either.
No,
You know
that's
what I mean?
that's the frustrating
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
But sometimes you also want to work and you're not being
Right,
yeah
yes,
you're
yeah.
being judged too harshly based on like a misspoken word you said
Absolutely,
on stage,
absolutely.
and then suddenly you're that guy who said that word,
Yeah.
and then the only platform available for you for simplification purpose is the Rogan stage.
Absolutely. So
And
now
you're
you have to be
what?
like anti-woke. when
Exactly. Now you're being
you
lumped
really-
in with all of these people.
Yeah, you
You're
really
like, actually, I don't
weren't
really
either on either side.
exactly.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that's a tough thing for straight men because straight men who look like
They look fine.
yeah, it's sort of like because like I always tell people I didn't get beat up in high school, but I'm also not the guy that beat you up in high school.
Yeah,
You know what I
could be
mean?
yeah.
Just managing my own business.
Actually, that's very true because like usually it's either you're with us or against us, and you don't
Yes.
have to always be either side. You're just like I was just the kid sitting in the corner while they were
Yeah.
fighting, but I had nothing to do because like I couldn't fight. Nor
Yes.
am I going to get in trouble for that.
Absolutely. In fact, my high school experience was so unique because I played basketball, but I wasn't great. I literally almost every day of high school lunch, I sat with quote unquote the nerds, the guys in my class, the guys in my math class and my computer class. I ate with them almost every day. Then, like after I ate, I moved tables. And went to like the basketball
basketball
team,
guys,
and all the black kids, and I
Yeah.
would. So we're over here talking nerd stuff, we exchanging games and stuff. And then, all right, guys, I got to go freestyle over here in the corner.
Yeah.
And so
That is very
was-
unique. Yeah.
that was my lunch every day. You know what I mean?
But I think that's the ultimate thing where the world now, the fusion of the arts and sciences and everything. You did exactly that, and hence why you see a bigger picture. You're not seeing who's right. You're like they could both be right. Both
Right,
exist.
right.
So I think that's the same with comedies. Like usually what you'll find is that people either want that really edgy, as you said, they want like, oh come on, let's talk about the pussy and all that stuff. Or you want the ones like, but you don't say the P word. We don't
Yeah.
need that.
right.
But I
or,
think
or so woke, and it's like,
nothing is allowed. Like everything is. How dare you speak of that? It's like, well, there's nothing to talk about. It's like, well,
Yeah.
figure something out.
Yeah. And I don't like the woke thing only because I don't hate it, but I don't. It's weird. I don't promote too much social change. Or anything like that, just because I travel a lot and people won't put their bags in the wheel first. So until people can put their bags in the top wheel first and not sideways and not take up all the space and not put a stupid little bag up top, I don't have hope for humanity like that.
Yeah.
So
Always a little thing.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's true. That is actually very true. Like you were trying to change all this stuff. Like, buddy, could you just put the bag properly? So
Yeah,
we can all
it's
fit
if
it
we
in?
can't do that, forget all this other stuff.
That's actually very perspective, right?
Yeah.
Now that's the thing, though. Like as a traveling comedian, though, do you over time go to different places and get surprised by the sense of humor certain places have?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Sometimes that's very encouraging too, because you can like judge and then be blown away by like how good the crowd is, or you can do bad because you misjudged them.
Yeah.
And you didn't give them
What's
enough
an
credit.
example of like like a crowd, a certain country or whatever that you're like,
so
they're gonna
many.
be.
I would tell you, Utah crowds are great. And
I
that's where
heard
they,
that a lot.
And that's where
Yeah.
they film Dry Bar.
Yeah.
And people think, oh, they're like gonna be like
Uptight or whatever. Yeah.
Like too religious and all of that. And first of all, Utah, like Salt Lake City, is pretty big city, and a lot of people are not Mormon there. But let's say most people are, or half at least. Yeah, but the crowd's their game. They're up for anything. They just don't want it gratuitous because that's gonna sort of hit them. But you can do adult stuff with them, and so that's an example of like people. I think in the dry bar
Explain to
comedy
the
thing,
audience what is a dry bar.
yeah. So in Utah, people are mainly Mormon, and technically they don't drink, even though you can drink there, but they don't drink, and their comedy is very clean. So they created a whole comedy network called Dry Bar Comedy, which is sort of like
Clean.
yeah, sort of connotation for clean. And then they did a bunch of specials, and some of those
You had
specials
one.
I've had two, and they get a lot of traction. And in fact, most of my views come from that.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Not Netflix. You have
No, because Netflix bought my special and they licensed it for 2 years.
Oh yeah, so it's off
And
now.
it's off Netflix now, so on other platforms. And I really, that was my goal. So shout out to Netflix.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that's my best special. Take
Right.
note. But it was not a Netflix original, so they didn't like
Keep it.
really
Yeah.
push
Right,
it.
yeah.
In fact, my guy there, who I think has since who's left since, but I was like, hey, can you guys tweet about this or something? He's like, we only tweet about Netflix original. And in fact, back then they would only tweet about Netflix originals, and now I don't even think they acquire specials anymore, unless you're like
A big name.
Well,
big
the
name.
license
Yes.
stuff, I think they changed the model, right? Because now even with the bigger guys, like you can still license it for a couple of years and then you get it back, right?
Yes.
As opposed to just paying them this fuck ton of money.
Right, they do. I think they do that with big names.
Yeah.
But if you're not a big name, they want it to be a Netflix original.
I see.
So
Yeah.
So they
that's-
keep it basically.
That's what I think. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, this dry bar thing, what they did, which is they I didn't know they were going to do it, and it ended up being a blessing. I taped the special for them, and I thought, oh, it's just going to be on this sort of like
small network that they
server,
have,
and people in Utah can see it, no problem. And the pay wasn't great, but the residuals were decent. But what they did was they cut it up.
Put it on YouTube.
And they put it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then some like 2 or 3 of my bits went super viral.
Yeah.
And so they did what like even Comedy Central didn't have the foresight to do, and I don't know why. Like Comedy Central had a show about the internet, and they weren't on the internet.
Right.
Oh, God, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
Yeah.
the executives like, we're
Yeah.
not improving that part.
Like
yeah.
Tosh.0 was a YouTube clip show, and you couldn't see those clips on YouTube.
yeah.
And I get like, just the old way of thinking, but
No, it's true because like a lot of people would think, if you put it on YouTube, where's the money and everything?
Right.
But the idea is that that's the exposure and
that's
the money
exposure.
comes next.
And you
Right,
can
it's
monetize it
moving.
because you can put commercials on YouTube.
Yeah, you can.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But I'm sure like the executives, they were thinking like, but we can sell this for 10,000. Why are we putting it on YouTube
Right.
for free?
And then
It's like,
now,
yeah.
who's buying anything like that?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no one's
Yeah,
buying
yeah.
because like now you're like just put it on YouTube. And like a lot of comedians also talk. They're like, do I sell my special to this network or do I put it on YouTube and just own it?
It's
and
tough.
just go from
It's-
there.
That's a tough, and that's where like content wise, like you almost need 2 specials, right? Like one that you can just tape and cut up,
yeah, into small
and one
bits,
that
yeah.
you can sort of,
the 1 hour that you put
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they see the cut up version on their reels or whatever, and they're like, I want to hear more about this guy. Then you go to that 1 hour
Right,
one,
right,
and
right.
then hopefully that translates to the actual show,
Right.
the live show.
right? And so Dry Bar did that, and what's weird is that when Jamie introduces me, he says, "What do you want to say?" And I said, "I don't know, Dry Bar, I don't know." And just because I have a lot of credits, but I said, just use that one. He goes, "Oh, people don't know Dry Bar here," and I think that may be true. But then
Yeah.
last night's show, this lady comes up. She's like, "Oh, I know you from Dry Bar."
Oh.
Nice.
It
yeah.
has more reach than people will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
than people.
I
know.
think the Dry Bar thing in Hong Kong, because generally you would think like Netflix and YouTube, those are the big names here.
Right.
But don't forget that your audience are not based in Hong Kong to start off with. They're probably coming from overseas that
Right,
knows
right.
Dry Bar. They came
Yeah.
to Hong Kong for the last 3-4 years, but they
Right.
already knew that from back then.
Right, right,
I
right.
think that's the one thing that when I travel as well and do shows, and a lot of times I do shows now overseas doing Cantonese shows.
Mm-hmm.
So you find that actually they're as local as you would think they are, but they might be just living over there for the last 10 years. But
I
they are
see.
very much in tune with, let's say, Hong Kong culture and Hong Kong
Right,
news.
right, right.
So yeah, Dry Bar, they would be like, yeah, that's the TV I watch. And oddly enough, though, they would live in, let's say, Australia. And just like, let's say, an American live in Hong Kong who wants just pure American news on TV.
Right,
they
right.
have all the tools and boxes and everything to watch only Hong Kong
I know.
stuff.
Yeah, I know a Thai family. They watch all Thai stuff in
Wow.
the U.S.
Yeah.
On YouTube, but they also have a Thai sort
Box
of
or
app.
whatever. Yeah. Because
Speaking
there's
of
many,
that.
many ways, man. Like, for example, my Netflix right now is connected to a US VPN. So I
Right,
get
right.
the US version of Netflix.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
You get it? So, like, I'm getting those recommendations.
Yeah.
Not the, best in Hong Kong, like, best in the US. I'm like,
Right.
I want to watch that. So,
Sure,
yeah, you
right.
could totally do that.
Yeah, speaking of YouTube and also earlier, the executives can be a bit disconnected. Today, Donald Trump went on Rogan, which was like the headline.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So I actually just opened the video as we're recording.
I was too busy going
and
to the
it-
tran- to the
yeah, so it was a big
Transformers. Yeah.
headline.
Yes.
Like when I woke up, it's just like whatever.
Yes.
But the episode was dropped on YouTube. So Rogan got his episodes back on YouTube. It has been on there for a while now.
Yes.
So it's now Spotify and YouTube. This episode was released 5 hours ago. Guess how many millions of views? 5 hours ago, as we're recording right
Trump
now.
on Rogan.
Trump on Rogan. Guess how many?
I would say 3.2 million.
Dwayne.
I would say,
Be realistic, obviously.
yeah, it might crash the server. Let's say 6 million.
It's at 8 million views.
Whoa.
Whoa.
5 hours ago. And I'm sure by the time these people are listening, it's going to be like
Right,
80 or
right.
whatever.
Yeah, because
But he would not
That's-
get,
He's
regardless
on
of
a
the
Gangnam
politics.
style pace right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, regardless of the
exactly.
politics.
Yeah.
We're talking
Absolutely.
about the platforms themselves. And like
exactly.
you would never get this kind of access on TV.
Absolutely
regardless
not.
of who you are. It's just
Absolutely
like,
not, yes.
And those people are still trying to, gatekeep. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is not good enough. It's like, okay, I will
It's tough.
just go
Well,
on the
well,
guy on YouTube.
Well, especially when you have a show
Yeah.
that's capitalizing on the internet stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, exactly. You would want to be on the internet, so that's
Yeah.
what, because exactly that's your audience. And also, let's be honest, the new generation, you tell them watch this on a TV show, like, so I have to wait till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
for it to start.
Right.
I don't think that's how I live my
Right.
life anymore.
And YouTube is practically free. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of the times the network providers give you like free bites
Right?
or whatever.
You just gotta
Yeah.
watch.
You're just
some,
watching it.
Watch some ads.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me that I knew that this was going to happen. All this disruption and stuff, I knew the streaming people would have to use ads.
Yeah.
Because there's no way else, there's no other way to grow. No one's like buying Netflix like when
off
when
of YouTube.
Yeah, like when they gave
Yeah.
Chappelle all that money, and I like Chappelle. He's absolutely great, probably the best, one of the top 3 living comics. But everyone was like, "Oh, there's more to the deal," and this. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because everyone who has Netflix has Netflix.
Yeah.
No one's buying Netflix just to watch
No.
Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some people might not cancel it, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And so there was no other way to grow it except to do commercials. And Amazon was always going to beat Netflix.
Right.
Because
Just deeper pockets.
they print money.
Yeah.
They're getting toilet paper money.
Sure.
They're getting lotion money. They're getting
But Netflix
t-shirt
also
money.
has stocks money, right? I mean, so does Amazon.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
But yeah.
But I just think that Netflix also how much original content can you afford?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
True.
just keep making stuff either. It costs.
Yeah.
So
Well, they cancel stuff so quickly now.
Right,
It's like
right.
they just don't care. Like I remember a while ago, every Netflix clip or post on Instagram
Right.
had only one comment, which is bring back this one show that I've never heard of.
Right,
But
right.
people were so angry for like 6 months that they canceled the one show that apparently everyone on Earth likes.
Yeah.
And Netflix just doesn't care. They're like, nah.
Yeah, we're not. Executive said he doesn't like it. It's not happening.
We moved on already.
Yeah, yeah.
You can bark all you want.
and they've done a great job. I always wonder what would happen if they didn't do original stuff.
Yeah.
Because they were like the repository in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think they could have really won in that space.
I mean, the
you know?
problem is this was that the shows when Netflix is by them now with like let's say Amazon and Hulu and all these things, let's say you have a show that's your own.
Yeah.
Technically, you have enough power to tell Netflix, I'm not going to let you have exclusive license of it.
Right. Because
Right.
you're competing with them.
Yeah, you're competing
Right,
with them,
right,
you know?
right.
And then they're like, you know what, but we really need content. We really need your show. Yeah, and I think what's happened now is it's going to come back to Amazon's going to eventually buy off Netflix.
I think that
I think
probably
so.
will happen.
It will,
Right.
yeah, for sure. I mean, once Netflix get big enough, they're like, why are we wasting our time competing with you when we can
Yeah.
just own you and just like completely take over and
Yeah.
save on all those resources of fighting? And then we just create our own
Well,
content.
to bring it back to Hong Kong, that's probably, and we've had many episodes here, F&B people in the city, and that's probably what we're gonna happen. We have like 4 or 5 major F&B companies here,
Yes.
and they're probably just gonna like dominate eventually. They're already kind of dominating,
Right,
but
right.
any mom and pop shop that it just gets remote attraction, like or some fame and success,
Right.
they either just buy them out or destroy them by just opening
Right.
competing
This
business.
is another
across-
food and beverage place. That
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So let's
Yeah,
say
yeah,
you
yeah.
have, you bring in whatever Haitian food. There was never Haitian food in Hong Kong.
Right.
And then a year later, you're killing it with Haitian food. A year later, they kind of be like, okay. So first of all, they would poach your chef. He's like,
Right.
here's triple your money. Just get out.
Right.
Or they're like, hey, do you want to just buy out? And if you say no, you're like, all right, that's fine.
Right.
This is going to open across the street
Yeah.
and
Half the
undercut
price.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like I've always felt like things go toward centralization, right?
Yeah.
Like even we talk about social media. Like you guys may be old enough to remember, like pre-social media, it was like you send an email to like 10 of your friends
Yeah.
with some stupid questionnaire.
Right.
And then you say, make sure you send it back, and they send it to other people.
Sure.
And then someone was like, we can't do this.
yeah.
Let's just put it all here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone
And this
go
is
there.
where we're going to do that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So things always get centralized. And so it to me is always a bigger question of like economic systems, because I
Yeah.
feel like the people always think, you're choosing between capitalism and communism. I always feel like you're choosing between some form of social capitalism or
For
social
the record,
communism.
I think communism is the only way to go, just so you know.
Yeah. Social communism or communism. Like
No, just
either
communism.
Either the government's going to control it,
Yeah.
or a few big companies are going to control it,
Right.
and then
Yeah, you think
hopefully
it-
they're nice enough to
Give you a chair.
right.
No, but it's true. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's with everywhere. In Hong Kong, tycoons, they own all the land and everything. And it's a
Right,
matter
right.
of, like, sure, you have your building, but trust me, they're going to buy it out and just, like, redo it, and they're
Right.
going to own it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, coming back to, though, so we've been discussing a lot of these social things, but the comedy element, what I found, though, COVID has taught me one thing where there's something magical with the live performance, the comedy.
Absolutely.
And whatever your world is, being able to come into a room and just listen to someone tell stories brings us
Absolutely.
back to the human thing about sitting around the fire, talking about the
Absolutely.
stories. And that's something
Yeah.
that no matter how much ChatGPT, AI, whatever,
Yeah.
it like people tell me, are you worried about ChatGPT? I'm like, it can generate a lot of great stories. Yeah, but it's the telling of it that it can't do. And all the AI in the world, I don't feel it's going to be able to do it because it's not so much that, okay, so AI can speak and read in a way that sounds very human. Yeah. They can do all the nuances like AI, all that kind of stuff. But there's something about having a live person in front of you with the energy, with the gestures, with the movements, with all that stuff.
I would actually add even one step further, which is even if you are the regular live person, the experience of being in the room is vastly different. We have all done Zoom shows during COVID. And you just like, you cannot imagine that this is forever.
Absolutely
no way. I would have actually quit, to be honest with you. If that was the only thing that is there, I would have just like, no, I don't want to.
I was worried about it only because of like remote shows. Like when I go to Australia to do shows, are they going to be like, well, we could just have them do a Zoom?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was worried about that.
But that's the thing. I think we're all saying the same things. Like people are not going to replace, as long as it's available, the energy of being in the room.
Absolutely. It's kind of like, think of, there's been so many movies about robot girls or some sort of like VR thing, and
VR porn or
VR
whatever.
It just hasn't done it yet, and it maybe like in our lifetime a lot has changed and will change. I don't know if like things like comedy that may not be in our lifetime. For a second,
like the metaverse thing when it was a thing,
right?
And I'm not claiming to be any sort of genius. I had a strong feeling that it's never going to take. Once you hear about like Snoop Dogg bought a $50 million house in the metaverse, I'm like, this thing is over. This is so fucking stupid. None of this makes any sense. But you would also hear of comedy clubs, quote unquote, on the metaverse, and people are it's like they're just trying to replicate, and it's like I'm thinking like, why? Just why are you replicating normal life?
Until they destroy the atmosphere, then But up until
but then
that
it's a very dystopian kind of Black Mirror-ish kind of like life. But that is like, no, we're fine here. Absolutely. I don't need. If I want to see Snoop Dogg, go see Snoop Dogg. Buy one. It doesn't make any sense, right?
But then also like one thing is that with the live shows, as you said, you travel to different places, gives you a refreshing perspective. And I'm curious though, you doing shows nice to the US, let's say on cruise ships in Asia and everything, has there been times when you've been completely surprised? For example, when I went to Singapore my first time, at the beginning of my career and everything, I was like, oh, I hope they think I'm funny. And I go there and C-grade material in Hong Kong became A-grade material there. Like they were just like eating it up. And I was like, what is going on? I thought Singaporeans were very strict, they sit up straight. Turns out, because they're so strict there, they're like, I need to come out and have a great time.
Absolutely.
Would you say in Utah, some place like that would be similar with like, I'm going to come out?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think you're right. And also, you see it like, I used to live in Boston. In fact, I'm kind of a Boston comic because I moved to Boston as an open micer many moons ago. And it's similar, but in that, like, Boston is repressed. It's a great town, but like meaning, everyone's mostly Catholic and there's Catholics, there's Protestants, and everyone's funny, but it's not like everything goes in Boston.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you want to dress up in a chicken outfit in Boston, you can't.
Yeah. It's not New York.
It's like, buddy, you're not doing this. This is not happening. In New York, you can just dress up like a chicken. Same thing in LA.
Yeah.
So you don't, funny people come from those places, but funnier people come from Boston because the repression.
Yeah.
I actually felt the same way in Dubai.
Right.
Yeah. First time I performed there, I was so worried, especially being from there, like from the area, that I would go there. Either they want to relate or whatever. But I also had that feeling that you had going to Singapore, Vivek, which is like, oh, they're so uptight. Even though I come from that culture, I still had the ideas like, oh, they're too conservative. And I started here in Asia, so all my writing, I'm writing it for China pretty much or for Asia, but also going there, I'm like, oh, I take some liberties. Now I have to dial it back. And I'm just watching the comics before me, and they're way dirtier.
Right.
And even like the references, they're getting everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. And I love the crowds there. Every time I go there, I have a great time. And it's not, I was just very worried when I went there.
Right. Yeah, there is that snapback effect, and it's great, like I never like plan on it, but it's always good to be surprised by it, I don't like go to Utah or Singapore and think like, these people are just uptight. I'm gonna like let them. I'm gonna release the Kraken. Like I'm gonna be the thing that lets them get loose.
Finally,
if I'm that, fine, but I don't go into it with that thought.
Who were your guys going up? Like when you started, because you obviously toured with a bunch of comics. Like,
Yes, a little bit.
Do you have,
yes.
Yeah. Do you have some? Who were your guys?
Well, when I was in Boston, I know comics is such a small community. It used to be, at least. Now, like, I think more people can throw their hat into the ring.
Yeah.
But in Boston, my guys were like, pretty much well-known guys now. Like Patrice was my guy. The first time I ever did comedy in Boston, that's where I met Patrice, and I was like, this guy's hilarious. Dane Cook, Gary Gulman, Bill Burr,
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Bobby Kelly. So me and Gary, we were attached at the hip in
Right.
Boston. We literally would like do a gig and like race each other to the next gig to try to
Right.
get up.
Yeah.
And then like it's almost like we were like freshmen, and Patrice and Dane and Bill Burr, Bobby Kelly, Al Albany, those guys of that ilk, they were like like maybe juniors. They were a little bit ahead of us.
Do you have a
Comedically.
Patrice story? Also explain, like everyone can probably know who he is, but just
Yes.
for people who don't know, just introduce Patrice to our audience.
Patrice O'Neal is like, it's tough. I mean, I think Bill Burr said this too, and I would agree. He's just the funniest person one of the funniest people that ever lived on and off stage, which is like, and that's because like there are people who are funny off stage,
Right.
and they're funnier than they are on stage.
Yeah.
Like Patrice, it's like basketball players. They say like some guys are great in the league, but then other guys dominate the summer league because they can have more freedom. Patrice would have been a guy that dominated both.
Right.
He was just
He would hold court wherever he
he would
is.
hold court.
Yeah.
In fact, he was tall, right? So he's like 6'2".
Oh, he's also very
6'3".
tall.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big and tall.
Yes.
Yeah, big
I
and
didn't know
tall.
he's that tall.
Yeah. Like I know we haven't been cursing, but he has a joke. He used to have a joke.
Yeah.
And he told me, like, an audience member helped write this because he would look at the audience and he goes, when you look at me, do you think big motherfucker or fat motherfucker?
It's already fucking.
Oh, shit.
And then he
I
said,
have always thought he's a fat motherfucker.
Right.
Exactly.
and he said, someone screamed out, "You a big fat motherfucker."
That's so good.
So good.
That's so on brand for him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He was tremendous. He had a joke. He the stuff that he threw away.
yeah.
Literally, his stuff that he did once or twice, or he used to do that no one else ever heard,
Right.
Yeah.
would be better than most people's act.
Sure.
Like it was other guys' material that he
Yeah.
would just be
Well,
like,
I had heard that he also gets bored quickly,
Yeah.
and he would just like, he's not someone who's like writing to like airtight. He just does a thing.
And he would change the way
Yeah.
he did it a lot.
Yeah.
He would have, he's very professional, so he knew like this is the way this joke goes. But from night to night to night, he wouldn't do it that way.
Right, because
You
he
know,
already knows it works. It's
On
not
purpose,
that challenging.
Right. And so
Yeah.
like he had a joke about going to, I had a racist camp counselor when he was a kid. Thing in the States, you go to camps, right? As a kid, sometimes you stay with a family, sometimes you stay like with a bunch of other
campsite,
kids.
yeah.
Sure.
So he went to some camp and he said, and I can't do it because he also is a great performer. He could do sounds and everything. And the counselor was like, "Oh, you can't get to sleep." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a city kid." I was like, I don't know. It's weird out here. I can't get to sleep. And the counselor's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll help you get to sleep." And he goes, "Woo, woo, woo." Like,
Police car.
yes.
The sound. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I haven't even heard these
Yeah,
bits
yeah.
because they're probably like,
That's an old classic thing he used to do.
Yeah.
He used to do in Boston. Yeah,
Oh man.
No,
Oh, man.
Patrice was great. And the best thing about Patrice was that like he was unfiltered and it's one of those things where Patrice would do the sin for you. He would get the bad karma for you. And then when you look back, you're like, well, maybe I get some of the bad karma. Because I knew that what he was gonna say.
Yeah.
And I set him up to say it.
Ah.
He would like always do the thing.
That you're like, we better not go there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even back in the day, back when you still sent tapes to owners, you would like, do your show, get a good 5-minute, VHS tape,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
And Patrice would call club owners and they would say like, hey, you got a tape you can send me? And he would say, well, can you send me a tape of your audience?
Yeah, you're like, you shouldn't do that, man. But he's like, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
You completely shouldn't do that, right? But that's Patrice. Like he just
As a comedy, like, even viewer and lover, I've also seen that he probably was the one who had the least fear in all of his peer.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
Clearly, like, I'm just watching and I'm like, oh, this guy clearly doesn't give a shit.
Absolutely. And I knew him from Boston, even though I'm from New York. So I would drive home to New York and drive with Patrice, and then like go to comedy clubs with him, and just I was like young in comedy, so I would just play the background. And then so he moved to New York when I still lived in Boston. So then when I would go to visit New York and I'd see Patrice, I'm telling you, he was there like a month, and I'm talking off stage, not on stage. All the other comics were acting like him. He was such a strong personality that he just...
Well, they say like a good comedian ruins a generation of comedians because
interesting. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, and he just was so. And I think he would have. Then he had a phase where I think he was a little quote unquote too hard on women, but he wasn't. But that's how he was being sort of labeled. And then I think he had turned a corner on that. Not that he like caved in, but I think he found how to say what he was saying
without being perceived.
Yeah. But then he passed away. So that was my dude though, Patrice. Absolutely, like
because I've heard stories where basically if you sucked on stage, Patrice would have no problem like kind of heckling you.
Oh, he'd heckle you, all types of stuff. I remember once I told Patrice, and I wish I had done it though. I remember two things. Once I told him I was like I should write a hip hop musical, right? And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, hip hop musical. So he said, like, so people are just walking, and then they start rapping, like in musicals. Yeah. He's like, you absolutely should not do that. That's the fucking worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And then like a year later, a hip hop musical came out. Yeah. And I was like, Patrice, look, I told you, hip hop. Yeah. He's like, well, you should have done it then.
I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, asshole. You goddamn asshole. Like no guilt. Yeah. He's like, well, then you should listen to me.
Yeah, no guilt. Like early in comedy, I had I have these ideas, and I'm glad I didn't do it, though, because you don't want to be this guy.
Sure.
But I told Patrice, I was like, I'm going to change my name to DwaynePerkins.com. That way, they'll always have to say my website.
Sure.
And he was just like, I'll boo you every time. If I'm there, I'm going to boo you. I'm going to heckle you. So
he also looked always, like, annoyed.
A little bit. Yeah.
I'm sure, like, he was, like, easier with, like, amongst his peers.
I think one of those things where I think he was so smart to, like, I think he could tell someone was an asshole or could become an asshole way before anyone else could.
Right. So he's already going like
yeah. Wow. And then like later in his life, we were still friends, but I moved to LA, and I don't know. I feel like he probably thought, "Why you moved to LA?"
Sure.
But he, I hung out with him in LA a few times. It was just amazing. He once made Tempest Bledsoe curse at him. That's she played Vanessa on the Cosby Show. She was like the middle daughter. Yeah. And he just fucked with her at a red light. And like he just kept saying, hey Tempest. He kept saying her name.
Yeah. With that tone, yeah.
Hey, just like he kept hitting the back of the thing really hard. I wasn't there, but they told me about it. And like she got so upset that she like, and Tempest, if you say this didn't happen, then it didn't happen. Right. But I was told this. So then like she really like followed them. She chased them down a few blocks.
Right.
This is the girl from the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
And she rolled down the window. She's like, "You fat motherfucker!" And just he could tap into that. Right. Absolute genius. But like, almost like ahead of his time. Kind of like, but he gave up props. Like he would he would tell me who he thought was good. He thought a lot of people were good. He loved Chappelle. Yeah.
Wow. I wonder though, Patrice in this time, man. I don't know. Like either he'd be one of those, like he'd be the Joe Rogan in a way,
right?
Where they're like, you're gonna love this because it's so different. It's gonna go.
I think he would probably be untouchable.
Yeah, I think because he probably would have been able to really blow up before it got too sensitive.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I
and then
think so.
you're basically protected. It's the same like Rogan. You're
Right,
basically
right.
protected
Or like
by your
Chappelle.
fans, pretty
Chappelle-
much.
Chappelle is protected,
exactly.
yes, yes.
You're
Yes.
just too popular to fail at this point.
Right, right.
Unless they get you in something really horrendous, which you know. he
Exactly.
wouldn't-
And he's not a type of person that's doing anything that he's particularly ashamed of.
yes, exactly.
So like
He'll stand by it. Yeah.
yeah, anything he's doing, he's gonna tell you he's doing it before,
Yeah.
so that way it's not even a thing. And
We
he's
were
not
ta-
gonna do anything really crazy, you know.
We were talking a little bit off air about different kind of gigs. You
Yes.
talked about the Norwegian cruise ship line.
Yes, yes.
And now that, without obviously mentioning the companies running it or whatever, but you're saying that now there's like proper comedy clubs inside cruise ships, which is very
Yes,
interesting because
yes.
that's not what we know.
Right, right. And Vivek,
Yeah.
you've done some cruise ships back in the day too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, cruise ships were never like, it was almost like a money grab. It wasn't considered like a necessarily fun gig. But yeah, now with the comedy clubs, I don't know who had, I think they say Royal Caribbean was the first.
Maybe, yeah.
But whoever had the wherewithal to understand like that comedy is its own thing.
Yes, belongs in a comedy club, not in a
Shout
whatever
out to
bar.
them. Shout out to
Yes.
them. Because, yeah, it's like, now I had the fortune of doing like cruises to Alaska. That's a different flow too. You know, people are looking to see glaciers.
Sure.
They're not looking to get laid and get drunk. You know,
Right.
they do those things, but you know
So
what I mean?
they're all in like North Face vests, just standing on
Right,
deck.
right. I mean, it's like not super cold because it's
Yeah.
summer, but it's still Alaska.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, you have a jacket on.
Yeah.
It's like there's the glacier, and everyone takes a picture.
Yeah.
But whoever had the wherewithal to make comedy clubs on cruise ships, hats off to them because I hadn't done cruise ships in 15 years, and then I heard they had comedy clubs. So the last 5 years, I've been trying to get back in.
Right.
And I think because of Dry Bar,
Yeah.
I did get back in eventually. And I think because people have said to me, "Oh, we've seen you on something," so it's like it legitimizes you.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, for sure.
and it makes you a better comic. Like honestly, I had to like sit down and like because you're doing like massive amounts of time, and they really don't want you to repeat material.
Yeah.
So
That's its own challenge, of
it's
course.
an
Is
own-
it,
it's its
how
own
long would you
challenge.
have to do in those cruises?
2 different 40-minute shows.
different 40s. Okay,
And
okay.
sometimes in the third show, that's
20?
different.
Oh.
Yeah, usually 20.
Yeah, yeah.
It can be 40 though.
Okay, if they want it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And,
So
and the
so
third show
that's
is-
either 2 hours of completely different material
Yeah.
or 80 minutes of 20,
Sure.
whatever,
Yeah.
completely different material.
So
yeah.
would it be like 2 clean, 1 adult?
I mean 100 minutes, excuse me.
Yeah.
Huh?
yeah, so 2 cleans would be the 2 40 minutes cleans, and 1 is like you can be dirty if you want.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
yeah.
But what I was told is they're technically both clean.
Okay, yeah.
Just
yeah,
one,
yeah.
I guess you can be racier in terms of the material,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the subject matter.
Yeah, but nothing too raunchy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because
I think people obviously like a casual listener would not understand how challenging that is, even if you're a very established act. To,
Absolutely. Well,
to be
but-
told you're like, oh no, you need to write another hour
Right.
to
Put
be
it like
on-
this: Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle, who's incredible,
Right.
He will go on stage sometimes and do 2 hours, right?
Sure.
But he's so good he can riff 2 hours.
Yes.
And or like do stuff he's thinking of. The average comic, you might have take George Carlin, right? He had maybe 5 or 6 HBO specials.
Sure.
So for a fact, we know he had 6 hours of comedy
Yeah.
material,
Yes.
probably double that, right?
Yeah.
But at any given moment, you only realistically keep an hour in your head.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if someone's asking you to do more than an hour, you have to it would almost be like this is the best way I think to describe it to the listeners to understand the challenge. Who's your favorite musician? And you go see them and they're doing their hits and they're doing songs from their new album.
Right.
Now imagine if you went to see them and they had to do every song they ever recorded.
Yeah.
Trust me, they don't know the words to every song they ever recorded.
No.
Even though they wrote it and they recorded it,
Yes.
they would have to go over it. Because
That's why they do
track-
rehearsals for months.
Yeah, yeah.
They do remember their own music.
Right. Track
Yeah.
16. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa, I haven't done that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're doing on a cruise ship. So
Yeah.
it's fun. It sort of expands your, for me, it was like I had to, I'm not going to do too many tricks, but, I'll write a few cruise ship jokes. That'll burn 5
Yeah.
minutes. I'll do a little bit of crowd work. That'll burn 5 minutes. And I was telling Muhammad, I started ending with like 1 or 2 street jokes. And the excuse was like, I'm on this cruise with you guys.
Yeah.
This is not this is odd. This is not normally how it is. So
Right.
in the cafeteria, you guys are coming up telling me my jokes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I go, well, let me tell you a joke
Yeah.
so you don't got to mess up my jokes.
yeah.
So then I tell them like 2 or 3 street jokes,
Nice.
you know, and it's a challenge that I enjoy. And like when you said you did one show a week, like that's cool, but that's challenging too, because then it's like you kind of get stir crazy on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
what
it's
are you
like-
doing during the day?
Right.
No, I'll tell you this, like the first time I ever did it, I was freaking out because I was doing the whole, I don't know if they'll get it. This might be good enough for them. And because also you're new, right? You're this
Right.
new kid. And let's be honest, cruise ships, at least for what my experience is that they were not nice to you. They were like, you figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I remember getting on and like they hadn't got my room ready or whatever.
Sure.
And then I go to the Windjammer. I'm like, what's the Windjammer, right? I'm like, and she was like, you should know. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm walking around my suitcase. Everyone's already checked in. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? I finally see it's their buffet called Windjammer.
Windjammer, yes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you want me to sit here and wait until your stuff is ready? And
Yeah, but no one has time for you to like they're running around.
Like
yeah.
you're the basically until your show happens. It makes you feel like you're unnecessary until the show time.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you're this hybrid between crew and passenger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's hard to navigate.
Yeah.
And because like you're not a straight passenger. So like passengers aren't expected to know anything. You're crew.
Yeah, you
right?
should
Yeah.
know all this
So
stuff.
you have to know the forward, the
Yeah,
the
the
aft side, the
yeah,
starboard side,
yeah.
and all these nautical terms. And you're like, just right or left.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I precisely remember because, like, then they give me my room number.
Yeah.
It's like 504 something. I go to the guest rooms area. I'm like, it's not working. I go back there. It's not working. Like, it should work. I go back again. Turns out I'm in the staff area.
Yeah.
Inside. And for anyone who don't know, like, it's one of these things where the door between the guest area is beautiful, and you open that door, and you're like, what the
It's
fuck?
it's clean, but it's like hospital. It's
Yeah, yeah,
sterile.
yeah, yeah. Sterile.
It's like being on a Navy ship or something.
Yes.
When you walk inside the
Yeah.
bowels of a ship,
Yeah.
it's not quote
Pretty,
unquote
yeah.
pretty. It's just white.
Sure.
There's announcements and
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
wash your hands and all the kind of stuff is there. You know?
Right.
Yeah, go into your room. You're like, oh, okay, this is my room. No
Yeah.
window, no nothing. Oh no, my room had a window. I remember there was a
Right.
round circle thing, but still,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
okay, I guess this is it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but then I remember freaking out and thinking, will they get it? Will they get it? And going on stage with my timer, everything, making sure it's all good. Once you hit that first one, you're like, okay. All right,
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah.
My favorite though is that I'll tell you this quick one before we go into the Patreon, because the craziest one was I get on board. I'm told that I'm performing second night. I hate performing early in the cruise ship because then people recognize you.
ooh,
Right?
yes,
Yeah.
That's the
yes.
worst, because you're like, if I bomb, I'm dead.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm on a night number 2. I'm like, okay, I get one night to my own whatever. I'm at the gym working out, and suddenly they make this big announcement because they've been calling my room the whole time.
Right.
And they're like, Vivek Malbani, please report to the reception. I was like, what did I do wrong? Shit,
Yeah.
I go there. Turns out the dancing performance tonight, their suitcase did not get on board in time for their clothes.
Whoa.
We want you to do a set tonight.
That's crazy.
Right? So-
Yeah, but that's the
that's
thing. They don't know
brutal.
what do is that like you can't just like bleh. Especially like you
Yeah.
have an act, you did the act.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah. So it's
That's
okay. It's
insane.
fine. It's fine. I did that. Now the problem is, the program's printed out. Everything's there. Dancing performance tonight. So
Right.
people are coming in expecting a dancing performance,
Wow.
right?
Right.
And I go up there, and the cruise director's like, "Please welcome your performer, Vivek Malbani." And I come
Oh,
up.
they didn't even say comedian. The performer, whatever.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Bananas.
Okay, all right. I go up there. I start doing my stuff, and you can see the audience in the beginning. Like, okay, let him talk. And at the 15-minute mark, I remember the front row just kind of like talking to each other. Like, the fuck is? Why is this guy still talking?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I was confused. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
First of all, they were Russians in the front. English not the best.
Right.
Hence why they came to a dancing show, not a
Right.
comedy show.
Exactly.
Right.
Number 2, they were like, I'm confused because it's supposed to be dancing. That's what it says in the program. And it's only when I finished and I was like, I don't know what just happened over there. And then the cruise director was like, oh, I know. Because we had it printed as dancing, and nowhere, even the outside signage had the dancing
So you're
cruise name.
performing for
Crazy.
50 minutes
Yeah.
to people who are confused and
Like,
expecting
when is he gonna
you
dance?
to dance maybe at some point.
Yeah. Because I see like many singers, they'll sing a song and tell a story and sing a song, right?
right.
Then I can see us telling a story. Let's get into it.
That is bananas.
I
That's,
remember, man, and I was just like so beaten up. That's my first night. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
crap.
you have to be an uber professional
Yeah.
to sort of make up for it. And
Yeah, yeah.
they're professional, but they just your thing is not their main thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's just a
Exactly.
side thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
something you learn after a while as well because
Yes.
you obviously everyone's thing is like you think it's the important thing.
Exactly.
You go into a venue or whatever, you're like, oh yeah, my thing is just part of their day.
Yeah, they just don't want you to mess up. That's
Don't
it.
mess up.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're good. Exactly.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're 40 minutes out of the 24 hours. Yeah.
Let me tell you this story before we go to the Patreon.
Yeah.
Even though this is probably good for Patreon, but I think everyone will. They told when I first did a cruise ship, they said there was this really eccentric ventriloquist he was just an oddball, and similar situation.
Aren't they all?
I know, right? So they said they called him like somebody from the admin on the cruise called him. And
in his room,
in his room.
Okay,
This back when, because I don't even know, it might be pre-cell phones. So they called him in his room. The dummy picks up.
Sure.
Oh, God.
So whatever the dummy was, Jimmy or whatever. Like say his name was John and the dummy was Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it's like the dummy picks up. Hello? And they're like, is John there? Sorry, he's not in. This is Jimmy. Can I take a message? And the person on the other end is like, oh, this okay. Well, tell John that his show has been moved. Okay.
Yeah.
It's now like it was at 8. Now it's at 7. Can you just tell John that his show is moved? Okay, we'll do. So he doesn't show up for the show, right? He comes late, and they're like pissed. They're like, dude, what the fuck? What we told you? You know. We told you. He's like, what? What are you talking about? We told the dummy. We told you that the show was moved. He goes, oh, he didn't give me the message.
Oh my God! Like those moments, you're just like, get someone, give me a knife right now. I get it. Yeah. Oh my God!
So you're dealing with that kind of a person. Yeah.
There was a story you had told me earlier as well.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So there's a comic in he can remain nameless, but he used to open for Tom Jones. So all comics will know who I'm talking about. Old school comics especially. He opened for Tom Jones for years, and to the point I met Tom Jones through this guy. Like I went to a show and backstage, and I met Tom Jones. I have a picture of me and my roommate at the time, and we're chilling with Tom Jones. Shout out to Dan Smith. So anyway, he opened for Tom Jones years and years and years. I'm talking about more than 8 years, maybe 10 years. So finally, and I guess Tom just would be always getting ready while he was doing his thing. And his mom was coming, this comic's mom was coming, and he was like, hey, Tom, I know you don't normally watch my show, but if you could just come out, maybe hang out with my mom a little bit. I know you're busy, but just come out, hang with mom, and she'd love to meet you, and you can watch a little bit of my show. And Tom's like, all right, fine. You know, I never watch or whatever. So apparently Tom comes out, watches the comic, and is like, this is the fucking guy that's been opening for me? And then he gets fired.
Why? And the best thing is he tells his mom, like, yeah, your son's not coming back. Oh, man.
Because he was just like, you know what? No one dies.
Right.
I'm in the
Exactly.
back. You have to leave well enough alone sometimes.
Yes, exactly. That's definitely a takeaway.
Yes.
Gold.
This was
Oh,
great.
my God.
Thanks so much for joining us, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Actually,
Yes.
we can end a little bit to put you on the spot here. You said you have been ending a lot of shows with street jokes. Do you have
Yes.
one for us to end on?
Oh, yeah. I can guess I can give you a short one or a long one.
Do whatever you want.
I'll do 2. These are the 2 I sometimes do.
Sure, yeah. Go for
on
it.
Cruise ship. So one is easy. If you heard it, don't spoil it for the rest.
Yeah.
So a blonde walks into a library. A librarian is, hey, can I help you? And she goes, oh yes, I'll have a steak with some green beans and mashed potatoes. And the librarian is like, ma'am, this is a library. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'll have a steak. The other one I tell, which people like this one. So a guy runs into a bank and robs it. He runs in with a gun. Everybody get down. Pop, pop, shoots in the air. Everyone lays on the ground. He takes all the money from the register. And just as he's leaving, he turns to a guy who's on the floor and he goes, hey, man, did you see me rob this bank? And the guy's a little slow. Like doesn't. And he goes, yeah, you just robbed the bank. He shoots him right there in the leg. Pop, pop, pop. He's like, ah! He turns to a married couple. And he goes, did you guys see me rob this bank? And the wife says, no. I didn't see you rob this bank. but I think my husband did.
Nice. Right over there, everyone.
Yes,
That's
yes.
Dwayne Perkins.
Thank you so much for joining us. How
Thank you.
do people find you online?
DwaynePerkins.com website.
Oh,
But,
your
you know,
official name.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
But there's another Dwayne Perkins, so make sure you spell my name DWAYNE, and I'm Dwayne Perkins on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm Funny DP on Twitter.
Nice.
There you go.
Yes.
Right over there. On X. On X.
On
That's
X.
what it's at.
We are about to record the Patreon. Patreon.com/ohopod. We'll chat to Dwayne about one of the subjects we talked about for about 50 minutes on Patreon. It's a good way to support the podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Went a little long. Well deserved. I would have actually talked to you for another hour, except that we all have shit to do. All right, everybody. Join us also for the live recording on 200th episode on 5th of December. See you then. Bye-bye.